What's something your family doesn't know about you? I just get in my car and drive. I never really have a destination. I just need to leave. I've done it ever since I had access to cars. My mom will ask why I have a sleeping bag in my car and lines just lie because I don't want the hassle. Edit. I know this is a do what I say and not what I do situation. But if you do this or want to do this, please tell someone. Stay in some sort of contact. I don't like cheese. Seriously mom, you have the memory of a goldfish. Edit. I've never ever gotten more than 10 upvotes. Now I have 3. 1k. 0. I'm 18 and I bought my first scratch off and won $10,000. I put it in saving and parents don't know I have it. The week after graduation from high school I tried to hang myself in the basement, but the rope broke. I wasn't going to college and I didn't see a bright future ahead. That was 5 years ago as of this past Friday. Right now the world seems very dark still, but I'm trying hard and I'm fighting every day to keep moving forward. Dad, I'm not actually that incompetent. You breathing down my neck when I'm cooking / driving freaks me the duck out. Also I haven't been a virgin for years. Where I live, what my phone number is, or whether I'm even alive. I'm just as needy as you all. I can be independent but deep down I miss your attention and company. I just don't seem that way, since everyone I know is needy, so there is always someone. My family now know I write romance novels for a living. They don't know I used to write straight up jerk off erotica as my sole source of income for a couple of years. That means that they definitely don't know that every Christmas present I bought for them during that time was paid for by basically the deepest perversions I could conjure up. My mother has a small statue of an elephant that I bought for her 1 year. It has pride of place on the mantelpiece. She has no idea that it was the direct result of me writing a very vivid buckake scene. That's between me and the elephant, and so shall it remain. Edit. Because I keep getting asked, I keep my erotica stuff separate from this pen name. So no, there are no links. If you want to read other parts of my writing, there's a whole bunch over at /r/Porterosa. That I've been suicidal for a while now, and it's been a really rough summer. That I'm infertile. They are waiting for babies, but they won't be coming. I got suspended from school because I used to skip lessons all the time. Weirdest punishment ever. My mum knew and didn't want to tell my dad as she knew he'd be disappointed. So she told me to work hard and get back on track. My dad left for work earlier than I went to school and got home after school finished. So I would just lie and pretend I was at school all day. I'm nearly 30 now and he still doesn't know. I faked a job offer so I can move to another city that is 3,000 miles from them. Edit. The reason I faked the job offer because I still want to maintain a relationship with my family regardless of how controlled and oppressive they are. I got an actual interview, did everything but was not chosen. Instead of telling them that, I made fake contracts, letter of offer, and show it to them. Since the documents are in English and my parents can't understand, they just ask me questions and things, so lying is much easier. I just pack my suitcase, live off couch surfing, work a temp job for money and food for a while. It's hard, very tiring and financially unstable at first, but now I have a job, peace and much more confidence in voicing my opinions and feelings. I'm also slowly mending my relationship with my parents. Soon. My sexual abuse isn't known by 97% of my family also. My dad has an inkling, and vice versa. I'm positive he was abused by his brother, and my older brother has a habit of getting drunk and trying to get answers out of me about our childhood. His brain seems to have wiped itself clean about it all. Apart from those two, it's entirely my own issue. Edit. This blow up. Will do my best to respond as quick as I can. That I'm a retired multimillionaire at 39 yo. They just think I'm a freelancer who travels a lot. It's for the best, I think. May I ask how did you do it? Stalker mode activated. I'm getting lots of questions about how I reached $2, 3 million, or $2, 6 million as of this morning post jobs report rally. I cover this in my earlier threads briefly. I left grad school at 24 and worked a job for 14 years. Socked away about $70,000 per year the entire time, so there's half my money. The other half came from investment gains. I did the majority of buying in the years immediately after the 2009 subprime meltdown and financial crisis. Large cap US banks and technology names for pennies on the dollar. Many of you are too young to remember, but I remember all of it. Having money in those conditions was terrifying. Bear Stearns and then Lemon failing were earth-shattering events. I lost entire $20,000 to $30,000 investments in companies in the blink of an eye. The ones that survived and thrived, those gains are still largely unrealized, meaning I have not sold them yet, and I'll get slapped with an enormous long-term capital gains tax bill when I do, which is fine. Obvious question: how was I able to save so much for so long? One big reason is living in a southern state with low cost of living and no state income tax. I'm able to hold on to at least $15,000 to $25,000 more per year based on those two factors alone compared to someone in California, for example. The drawbacks to that are the government services in my state are pretty crap and minimal, and all our new highways are toll roads, and so forth. I hate my sister. She is a self-absorbed, attention-seeking cunt. She starts conflict and is proud for standing up for herself. Beach, you wouldn't be in that situation if you didn't start it. She's always the victim. My parents' sister and brother walked on eggshells around her just so she wouldn't flip out. I did for the longest time until I got tired of her shit. I was labeled the asshole for setting her off. Edit: my sister has seen several different therapists and has not been diagnosed as bipolar or with personality disorder. She has had one therapist tell her to go elsewhere because she is too confrontational. Me saying that I was labeled asshole was more of the way I felt. Nobody actually called me the asshole. I was the one that was told to bite my tongue. That I'm badly depressed all of the time. Expect when I visit them. Going back home is just so comforting, and I know that it's always my home, no matter where I am. I seriously dread the day I lose this. It's one of my biggest fears. Not to make this depressing, but they don't really see how lonely I am. Pretty sure they don't know that I know they sold my body to pedophiles when I was a toddler. I understand Ukrainian, and I know they talk about how I should have been aborted or given away. I have a huge tattoo on my forearm that I've had for the last 10 years. I'm currently getting it removed with laser, but I've been using long sleeves whenever I get together with the family. My family is extremely conservative, dark and annoying in the summer. I used to have a crippling opiate addiction and contemplated ending my life numerous times, but was able to detox and get myself clean cold turkey all without them even knowing I had the problem. I've since had a conversation with my dad about it. He thought I had just decided to move away from my home because of a better job, when in reality it was to separate myself from all of my old connects. I actually took a pay cut at the new job. In a hoe. 2 years later I'm doing better than ever. However, I have stayed out of town for obvious reasons. Edit: I wasn't going to edit this because of the cliche thanks for the gold stranger edits I see all day, but there are too many to reply to individually. Those of you congratulating me, thank you. Those of you struggling with the problem yourselves, please find someone to talk to. Hell, message me and I will help with as much advice as I can. Also, I didn't do it 100% on my own. I had my wife and my young children with me as well to motivate me. I can't recommend kratom enough for people either. At the time I was kicking opiates, Arkansas banned kratom sales, so I wasn't able to get it. But a few months down the road, when I finally went to a different state altogether for a way better job, kratom is what helped me say no to people that had HO pills. It also helped my father-in-law get off of a long-time pain management script that was destroying his body. That I'm a millionaire. I'm super frugal and don't show it, but every time I make a big purchase they raise an eyebrow. I have a massive savings account. I've made $300k in stocks. They don't know that I know I'm their least favorite child. They also don't know just how much their opinion of me still matters to me. Edit: thank you for all of the kind words and for the gold. They are all appreciated. My parents aren't that bad, truth be told. To everyone that feels similar as/u/female2 said, "You are enough." I was fairly early aware how little my parents cared, which is to say, that the only reinforcement I received was on a range of indifference to disapproval to punishment. Which is to say, I learned early that my parents aren't on my team, so why would I want their approval? Why would I trust them? Well, it also meant that I was functionally emotionally stunted, low self-esteem, recluse who never really extended trust to anyone beyond a superficial level, which just went deep enough to not stand out. Naturally, that also ducked up my adult life to this day. But at least I can say without remorse all I meant to say, that I do not care what they think, if hear from them at all. Tradiafs. YEH carrot. I've kept a diary for the last 23 years, including a great deal of detail about them, both good and bad. Some very bad. Bordering on criminal. My sister is the executrix of my will. Should be interesting after I die. // I love them more than I show them. I can't show love to any one of my family for some reason. They probably think I don't care about them, but I do, and one day I'll tell them edit. Thanks to everybody who gave me advice or just took their time to talk about their lives and experiences. I won't respond to everyone because of limited time, but I truly appreciate all of your comments. I am 20, come from a family of 4, 3 sisters, 13, 26, 28. I never could show any affection to them for some reason. I never in my life told my parents or sisters that I love them, except for my little sister. I will definitely change that as soon as I finish work today. Life is not guaranteed, and I want to open myself to them before it's too late. Thank you again, everybody. That means a lot to me. If I have anything to say to repay the favor you did to me, you should start or continue being true to you. Being genuine is the best thing you can do to improve your life. Love y'all. That I'm doing much better than them despite their lifelong doubts and snarky comments at it. Holy crap, thank you for the silver and gold, kind strangers. I can hear every time they talk about me, like I left the building. And am not exactly lazy. There's a lot of noise I have to sort through upstairs before I can really do something. Once I get going, I'm fine. But the noise is still there. Edit. My sister and I are fairly certain I have one of the AD disorders, but I haven't looked into it more than that. Thank you for the support. Wanted to share a positive story. I'm getting married in October. After my grandmother and my mother and father died, I separated myself from my cousins, aunts, uncles, surviving grandparents because our family was so toxic. In that 4 years I fell in love, developed a new family, and have been quite successful. You never know who is dragging you down. And before anyone asks, I made multiple attempts to rekindle relationships with family, but it's a two-way street that no one else was driving on apparently. My parents divorced in 2000, but were on and off after that. My mom and dad died 3 years apart, and because of his drunken ways and random knocks on the door I was relieved, and I wasn't invited to the funeral or included in the obit. I still have a little darkness from it, but there is so much light now that it drowns it out pretty well. I still have moments with my fiancé when I'll get upset because something triggers me, but we talk about it and move on. My ex-wife and or my stepmother convinced my family I hurt my daughters. I raised them from 4-5 years since they were a baby, potty trained them and everything. I never hurt them in any way. Then I found out, since I got a call during the investigation, either they were being hurt by the new boyfriend or my family coached them about reproductive parts, so my family has no idea I'm one of the nicest people in the world and taken advantage many times because of that, and I would give my life in a moment to protect/save a child. I shan't be surprised though they abandoned me through all my childhood abuse too. Why should I expect them to ever give a shit about me? That I have social anxiety and crippling depression every day. It's second nature to just say I'm fine and move on. They think I'm lazy because I don't have a job and sit on my computer or lay in bed all day, when in reality it's because I can't put myself through the stress, fear, and constant stomach knots from interacting with people every day. and I need a job because I have student loans to pay from. When I dropped out of college from my social anxiety, they think I'm just shy and eventually I'll grow out of it, but they grow more impatient by the year. I can't open myself up to any real person, so therapy is out of the question. I can't even sit down to tell people about my issues because I feel emasculated and patronized.